the Water Valley School District Monthly Board Meeting, sponsored by Bank First of Water Valley.
We're going to have the prayer. Herbie?
Pray. Dear Lord, gracious Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for this day, Lord. Lord, you give us, and we want to really appreciate it. Lord, just be with the ones on our prayer list. We got many that's sick in the city and in the county, so just wrap your arms around them, do it at your will. Lord, as we go into our business tonight, let the business that we do be pleasing to you as well as pleasing to the city of Water Valley. And Lord, we ask this and all in Jesus' name.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Is there a motion that we adopt the agenda? Motion and second. All in favor will say aye. Aye. Is there a motion that the minutes be approved? Is there a second?
Aye.
All in favor will say aye. Aye. Now, the next motion would be to approve the monthly bills, and they, of course, everyone has received a copy. Is there a motion that they be approved, or is it discussion? Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion second is made. All in favor will say aye. Aye. I want to bring you, before we get any further, I want to bring you some developments. Today, I signed 162 approvals for pole attachments for TVA fiber. So, and I am told, and a lot of them were pole replacements. So, you know, they're going to replace 400 defective poles. And our engineer has identified some defective poles that even they hadn't identified with their $200,000 study. And defective poles are a danger, and they have to, and it's burdensome, but they have to be, it's a problem, and we've got to deal with it, and we are. And that $750,000 is going to do that. Now, also, we got word that on our Civic Center, we've got the sign came in today, Bonnie, and that is going to be a big, nice sign, and that Brandon Hooks, the contractor, has picked it up, and he assured me that he was bringing it up here tomorrow, weather permitting. And so that's going to look great, I believe. Well, at least the ladies told me it would, Bonnie. So Nicole, I'm listening to them now. You know, they know what they're doing. And the architect wanted that as well. So we've got that. The next thing, the transformers. Now this was the $750,000 we got in the legislature for the poles and the broadband installation. That's going on. The next thing, the 22, we got $500,000 for the transformers. The transformers are supposed to be here tomorrow, and one is going to be installed at 10 o'clock at the hospital. Am I correct? All right. So 10 o'clock tomorrow we'll have one. Now that one is almost big enough to carry the load of the whole town. Can I get a witness? That is correct, is it not?
The 10.
That's right. Well, I mean, you know, now we've got another one. So we got two, but one is going to be installed tomorrow. So we'll have that. That's 100% more than we had before.
Now let's talk about install. That's delivered and set off. That's
delivered and set off at 10 o'clock. Yeah. And then, you know, it's on its way. Now, what that would be, you know, the supply chain, we got to live through that. The thing was supposed to be delivered, I would say 6 months ago or more, but we got it now. And so that is for a catastrophic power or outage, like you get a tornado, you get an ice storm, you get a systemic failure. So, and we can anticipate having some of those because we have in the past. That will help us on that. And so, now the poles help us on the present day. The GRIP grant, we're working on that, and that would replace defective wiring and the substation that it's older than I am, 70 years old, more than old on that. So that can do that. So things are moving, but we got a lot of more moving that we need to do. And so, Main Street report. Chris called me today, and he is going to have an extensive report on next meeting in June, if that's all right. And they have a lot of things going on. One thing, he's meeting with a head Main Street person tomorrow, and they've got activity on the bump out, that they had on the sidewalks. And we're gonna come to some more sidewalks in just a little bit. All right, next on the agenda is the Planning Commission report. Do we have
I
anything?
did not have anything.
All right,
no.
we'll move along on that. And then Historic Preservation Committee, Cinnamon, and I believe, go ahead.
7 and 8.
Right, let's
So,
go ahead.
It's great to see everybody here. It's always great to see a full gallery of people here. Thank you for being involved with Water Valley. We have approved 3 COAs. One is for Jordan Bankhead for an awning on the back of the Hendricks building. If you drive by, is already working on that. Megan Bax and Mary Lee Vaughn, COA for 310 Railroad Street. That is the old Magnolia Furniture building. They have gotten architect Belinda Stewart. They are working on reviving that building and to its original structure. So we did give them the go-ahead to rip that big, huge green awning off, see what's behind it. And so they're going to be working on that. They're envisioning upstairs where it used to be, it was a hotel. They want to have hotel at top again, and then businesses in the bottom. And so it's going to be really great. So at some point in time in history, there were about 6 different businesses at one time in the bottom of that building. So that's really a fun thing. One more thing, Gene Dunn, he asked to enclose the awning that's already existing at 111 North Main Street, and that's where Main Street Treats is, and so you'll see a little activity there. And that's what we have accomplished for our COAs, the Historic Preservation Commission. And also, I'm here on behalf of the Rotary Club.
You want us to approve your report?
Oh, sure, yeah, if you want
Is there
to.
a motion that the report be approved? Second. I think it's forward looking.
Yes, absolutely,
All
absolutely.
in
And there are
favor,
more
say
good
aye.
things coming down the road.
All opposed? It passes.
Okay, any questions?
Now, go ahead.
All right. So the president of the Rotary Club, and so for several years, Nicole Herbie, been really wanting to get a handicap wheelchair swing put in our city park. It is not very big. It's about that wide, so about 5 feet, 4 or 5 feet. Talked, maybe about installation years ago. We have the opportunity now to write a grant for this swing. We're looking at
need
between
support.
$2,000 and $3,000. So what
You
we
need a letter of support.
well, I would like permission if we get the grant and purchase the swing with the hardware,
Permission for it to be installed.
permission for it to be installed.
Is there a motion? Motion, is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you so much. I'll let you know if that grant goes through, and I will reapproach the board and give you an update.
Well, that is just outstanding.
Well, thank y'all so much. I'm gonna slip out. Birthday dinner's waiting for me, okay?
All right.
Bye-bye.
What are we having?
Birthday.
No, birthday.
Yeah. Somebody call me an old woman.
All right, okay, well, we'll try to be there, okay.
All right.
Next, item 8 would be, Sharon on Harrison on, in regard to a mobile home. I don't, but Ms. Harrison is not present, okay. Robert Mays, not Robbie. Robert. Now, you know, like my wife, well, your wife's, you know, my wife's a lot more popular than we are. We know that,
that is
Robert.
so true.
There you go.
You're getting 2 for the price of 1 there.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not on the
Ben!
permission to.
Okay, I appreciate it, bro.
approach here. So we're here with the Yallowbusha
Ben
Greenways.
Ipshin.
Ben Ipshin. We're here with the Yallowbusha Greenways. We've been here a couple times in the past, so hopefully you recognize us. We're pretty excited. As we know, we're working on 2 things. One is the long-term vision of a trail from Water Valley all the way to Taylor through Oxford. We've made some really awesome progress on that. Had some really interesting meetings with folks from Taylor, folks from Oxford over the last couple months. But we're here today to talk about the short-term vision, which is getting the 1.5 mile of trail open on the north side of town. So we have a little proposal for you guys. We're ready. We've raised all the funds to do it. We're ready to fabricate the signs, install everything we need, and get it opened next month. So we're hoping you guys can take a look at this proposal. And I'll
Pass
keep
that
one.
around if you would. Do we have enough proposals? Yeah, let's get everybody to have it. Vivian, you need one. Minutes, Herbie? Bonnie?
So we
Ready?
gave 2 options here, and I'll do it. Won't take too much time. I'll do a quick reading of this, but I'll go fast. So we're requesting to open the first 1.5 miles of the trail, beginning on June 7, 2025, for National Trails Day. The opening will serve as the formal launch of the Greenway and allow for community celebration, marking the publicly accessible trail. We have 2 implementation options here for securing the trail. One of the big issues was we wanted to make sure we had a way of stopping ATVs or motorized vehicles from getting on. So we have this plan for bollards. So we're going to go ahead and purchase the bollards. We have 2 options. One option is where we will install the bollards. The other option is where if the city wants to install the bollards, you guys can take that on. So we just want to ask you like which you would prefer. Would you rather us take on that installation, or would you rather take it on? And then this also has sort of a map. Well, it has a map of this exactly where the trail goes on the second page, and then where the bollards go and where the signs will go. So I guess it's best to just kind of pause, and if you have any questions for us, we can answer them.
With the bollards, you know, we're familiar at the like Chinese restaurant around there, that little strip there, it has, would that be
These,
somewhat like that?
well, these would be removable, so, because you're still gonna need access to it.
Okay.
And they would be removable.
Okay.
They would be locked, they would be kind of the way that fence is today. I mean, if somebody wanted to get past that fence, they could just cut the chain and open it up and go.
Okay.
But these would be, you know, concreted in the ground.
I see.
They are removable, they would be locked. You know, the city would have the codes to the locks or whatever locks we choose to do. We'd rather do codes versus keys.
Right.
And that way, when it needs to be mowed, you remove them, it's mowed, put them back, and then that keeps the traffic out of there. And it's on both sides of the trestle, so there'd be 3 on one side, 3 on the other, where bicycles, walkers, wheelchairs, whatever, I mean, with being grass and kind of gravel, that'd be a little iffy, but that would be 3 on each side of the trestle, and then where the gate is, it would be 4.
So that's the big. Removing that gate is really a big part of this and keeping that
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, and there's also, right now on that trail past the gate, there's a tree that's down. And we were, as part of this, asking if we could redo the removal as well to take that load off of the city. You know,
You're
we would
agreeing
be
to, you're volunteering to do it?
volunteering to do, we're volunteering to do all the work. It's
Okay.
really just y'all, we're buying everything, we're not asking for any money from the city. We're buying all the equipment, the concrete, the bollards, doing the tree removal, and the signage. We've raised the money for it.
Well, that's great.
The big ask of the city is long-term mowing it, so that's the piece that we need to
Yeah.
know that you guys.
And we've also, I guess we could talk about that as well.
This would be the
The
time.
grant. Well, we've applied for a grant from Kubota that is money and equipment that we will, assuming if we get the grant, that equipment would go to the city
You
to
would
help with
donate,
that.
you would agree to donate it to the
Yes.
city?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, that's not it's not a given that we're getting it, but it's something that we are applying for.
But if they would need, you know, something to
Right.
take care of it.
Yeah.
Well, and how, what would, and so your donation would be, the concrete, the bollards,
the labor to get everything installed,
And the signage.
and the signage.
Tree removal. And the tree removal. Tree removal.
Oh, the tree removal, yeah.
Tree removal, yes, yes.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, what do y'all say to this?
I make a move. Do it.
All right,
Yeah, I make that
motion, motion and second, Well,
That's great
there's
news.
a discussion. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, that's done.
Okay, wait, one more little ask. For the trail day.
It's sweat while you're ahead.
While we're here.
You gotta listen to Vivian, but go ahead.
We'd like to have an event for Trail Day, and we'd like to have a porta potty and a vendor permit for that day too, so we can.
You need a permit for a porta potty.
That's the question. I don't know. We don't know. This is why we're here. We're good to go. We'll bring our own porta potty. BYOP. That's the plan. Okay, we're good to go then. Never mind. We only had one. Thank you all so much.
Well, there's certain questions you just don't have to
Yeah,
ask.
that's right. Thank you.
I've never heard of porta potties being donated, but you know, that's good. All right. Jamie Scott and James McCormick, what are y'all up to tonight?
Well,
Y'all come forward, or just,
don't mind me stay here. Okay.
Jamie, you can say that.
And we're at
I think that's something
What we're up to is we want permission to add to the Cosmic Spacewalk, which is there on North Court Street from the mural at John Reynolds' place all the way up to Davidson Elementary. And what we'd like to do, and we've added to the spacewalk since we first got the initial
the last
permission.
time we were here, we had the last 4 murals, which bookend the whole project. We just have to tie things together now.
So this little, we're gonna make stencil of this little UFO, and what we want is to put it on the street, paint it on the street.
Eastbound lane, all the way.
Yeah, on the lane that goes up the hill, about every 100 feet, and kind of just have it there as just to kind of tie the whole thing together. It's you know, we're gonna make them about this wide.
Well, I mean, is there a motion on this?
Yeah, it's for the kids.
Move, is there a
Have you seen
second?
the elementary school?
What, now, Tammy, now specify.
On North Court Street.
North Court,
You just be up the center of the.
and these would be properties that gave their permission for the
No.
installation.
Four-way stop going up.
Okay.
No, it'd be a-
No, we won't mess with the lines.
An eastbound
It's
lane.
gonna be in the eastbound lane.
It'll be in the middle of the traffic lane, and it'll be just white. It'll be cool. So that's what we just
All
need.
right.
One thing we want to share one more thing with you.
Yeah, y'all work with Michael
Okay.
on when you're doing that,
Okay.
okay? Y'all, everybody be sweet.
Sure.
Motion, second, all in favor say aye. Oh, that's passed.
Have you all, yeah.
Also, if you'd like to get this as a tattoo, magic sombrero, yeah. This would make a fine tattoo also.
Well, I hadn't given that much thought, but it's something to think about.
Well, we really encourage you to go see it.
So Jamie wanted me to share just what the spacewalk is. I don't know how many of you have seen it, but it stretches from the corner of North Court on the side of City Park all the way down to the end of North Court, ending in the parking lot at the elementary school. It has 15 interactive signs that are all tied to the planets. They're all aligned to the Mississippi State standards. They're all aligned to the National Science Standards, and they're all tested. Also, we've done 7 murals, and it starts
Major
at
murals.
7 big murals, and it starts at John Reynolds Building. How many of you have seen the rocket ship on that building? That's the first stop in the
Pass it
spacewalk.
every day.
And then when you go down Main, you'll see all those signs, all 15 of them. And on the way, when you come to the bridge, you know that one bridge on North Court, and you see the comet,
That's
the
what you guys just
penguin,
approved last time for us to do.
north and east and west, and it tells you how far it is to the end of the solar system and how far it is to back to Earth as you're walking along. And then
In million miles.
in millions of miles. Yeah. And what else, Jamie? What's the next thing?
Commander Cosmos at the.
Oh yeah, Commander
car wash.
Cosmo is on the car wash, and I know you've seen him. And when you get to the school, there is a human sundial. There's also Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. And remember that this year is the 46th anniversary of the moon landing. And there's also a interactive questionnaire on the wall facing Miss Banks'
I
classroom.
really encourage you to go take a trip through this thing. You're gonna walk it, drive through a powerful tool to really show the distance between space and the universe.
It's fun education.
And then, planned for July 20th, we hope, which is the anniversary of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. I think it's the 46th anniversary. We're planning a stargazing evening, and
We're gonna talk more to you guys about that later.
more conversation
Well, that's
about
great.
that.
Children need to be interested in,
Well, the universe opens your whole mind, it stretches everything.
And you know,
Mike,
I don't
is
know
there a
how
way to turn lights off in
familiar
the park?
you are with testing,
You can turn
but
the
there are a
lights off
lot
in the
of
park?
questions that children really
the
don't
park?
understand, and they're all tied
You
to
turn
the
lights
solar
off there?
system, and this answers
Can you turn the
those
lights off in the
questions, and it
park?
teaches it really easily.
well, that's, Creator has given us a good,
Thank you for permission to do that. We'll work with you all about
Yeah,
that.
solar
And we won't
system
mess
we
up the
got.
beautiful lines.
That's the only place we got, man.
I'm also here on behalf of the Odd Fellows. We have an idea, let me share that with you. If you just pass these down. At the Pocket Park, those evil car chargers, there's a thing there that's, I don't know, it's like junction boxes. It used to be, there's the old piece of the fence is sitting behind it.
and we got $600 out of them last month. Don't talk them, they're not that evil if we make them money.
Okay, well,
We need money.
it used to be that little piece of fence, there were signs that went up on it occasionally.
Okay.
What Oddfellows would like to do is design and install a community bulletin board on the back of those junction boxes there, to where anybody could put up whatever they want to put up there.
Make it visual, nice look
Right,
at it.
it'd be far more welcoming than the industrial stuff that's there right now.
I would agree with you unless there's some regulation of TVA, and I wouldn't think there would be. If we could just check that out
Okay,
first.
I can call Michael Gray.
I tell you what, call Kagan. And,
Okay.
Or I tell you, better yet, check with Crystal and get, with his TVA contact.
Okay.
And we can
Okay.
check with them, but
All
I
right.
think I don't anticipate, as long as it doesn't impact it, I mean, they wouldn't care.
The access that they need to those panels is around on the other side. And we wouldn't mess at all with the integrity of the panels.
And anything that,
Yeah.
looks better.
And if
that'd
need be,
fine.
I can work it out with the Historic Commission also, as far as the design and the
Yeah,
look of the thing.
work that so it, look,
Okay.
if y'all, what do people say? What do y'all say about that? That suit you?
Go ahead.
Motion
Go ahead
made.
to keep looking.
Second. Motion, second, all right. All in favor, say aye. All right.
Thank you. Also, whether you want it or not, the Oddfellows are gonna be painting the picket fence on the 17th. We're gonna have a picnic and Pickett's Day. We're gonna assemble there. We're gonna feast on hot dogs. We're gonna paint the nasty fence and have some fun, some odd fellowship. So,
Well, I will tell you, the charity of the Odd Fellows that they have took is the Compassion Food Ministry.
yes,
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
wonderful. Thank you very much, folks.
You know, let me say one thing to y'all. Thank you for supporting us. We really mean that. It means a lot to me that something people like my talk. Wouldn't have my life, I've been a teacher. And if you guys recognize us, let's do these things for you.
Thank you for your public public spirit, and we appreciate you. You are an asset of this town. James, you too.
Oh, yeah, thank you, guys. All right. Thank you. Let me get your stuff, man.
All right, now we've got, is David here? David McAfee?
I don't think so.
We have a request. Vivian, you want to go over it a little bit if there's no objection to
I'll just read it what he's got. He's got, Dear Water Valley Board of Aldermen, Goonish Trash Transporters LLC is requesting written permission to operate mobile tire processing equipment within Water Valley, Mississippi. Goonish Trash Transporters is currently a permitted waste tire hauler. He has a permit through Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality. And he's currently applying for a mobile tire processing permit. And as part of the application, approval is needed from all jurisdictions we may operate in. The equipment would be transported to a location, as an example, a tire shop, to cut tires into smaller pieces which would allow them to fit into a dumpster more easily. Cut tires would then be transported to Mississippi Department of Quality approved recycler or landfill for disposal.
So this is just an MDEQ requirement that they get permission for all the municipalities that they run through.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we might, if the man has a business and it doesn't seem like it's gonna hurt anybody, you know, we need to make everybody's load as light as possible, I reckon.
Michael Gray's boy.
There are rules for tire storage. I don't know if you're talking about him coming here and
well,
cutting
let us
tires
hear
and
it.
leaving. But
I
they
think he's gonna
have
take them
pile
with him.
storage and stuff like
I
that.
think he's gonna take them with him, I think.
Yeah, he just wants
Is that
to
what
be
you're
able to
saying?
cut them up, put them in
And
a
then
dumpster
then
where
he's
he's haul
gonna
them out.
carry them. We wanted to comply with
Yeah, I mean, it's
your
just 50
rules.
feet from the building, I heard.
We can,
You read it.
let's do it that it would be approved, and it would be subject to any city regulation or whatever, but it would be approved.
Make that motion.
And is it second? All right, all in favor will say aye. And you know, so if there's any problem there, they can work that out. All right, next we have Ms. Lena Willingham and Son,
Yes, sir.
and it says Police Department as well. So that's item number 13. Would they y'all come forward? What's
I'd like to make a motion for closed determination.
okay? Is this and this would be on litigation?
It could
Related
easily
to
be.
this.
And related to this.
Okay, all right, well, there is a motion that there be a closed determination, and I guess, you know, one of the 13 grounds would be
Potential litigation.
potential litigation, okay. All right, this is a two-step process. First, you got the closed determination, and then you have the actual vote on the executive session. All right, and get the exact time, Vivian, that
Yes,
we're
sir.
doing this. All in favor of the closed determination, I guess will say aye. All opposed? Okay. That motion passes, and what time is it, Vivian?
It was 7 o'clock at that time.
All right, let's say it's about
7:01.
7:01 now. Is there a motion that the board now go into executive session?
Excuse me, at this point, I think we would vacate the room and discuss whether
Well,
they would want to.
Well,
That's the
yes,
closed determination part.
we could do that. Okay. You know, by board meeting, they just.
Well, I
they just
agree,
Get
but
out, but
this is-
anyway. All right, folks, this is one of those 13 grounds for divorce in Mississippi and 13 grounds for executive session. I think that's right. So this is one of them. And so everyone will have to exit But now y'all don't go far.
Yeah.
We're not through yet.
And we're gonna allow y'all to speak. I don't want y'all to be confused.
Everyone gets a right
Right.
to speak.
But I would like
And
to.
it was a litigation potential, on that was the ground, utilized,
So
so.
if y'all could please vacate the premises. Oh, not the premises, the room.
Yeah, don't go too far, it'll be back. Dogs be allowed to be,
I'll make that motion.
it's gonna be, is it gonna be purchased?
Well, no, sir,
It's gonna be received and accepted.
and I don't have a time frame.
Motions, and is there a second? Motion second. All in favor will say aye. All opposed? All right, next, Mark,
Hey,
what you got?
well, I'm looking to buy a new truck. No.
Well, you got some money.
Not
No,
today, Mark.
that's the whole issue.
Okay, all right, okay.
We had a visitor for the board meeting a few meetings ago, or last meeting, I don't remember, when Mr. Walton came in here and explained all the tax raises or the property value reassessments.
Yes.
And we are gonna be due for our second fire engine in 2027. It expires, the red fire engine expires.
That's the county truck?
Right, that's what we call County One, but we're required by the Rating Bureau to have 3,000 gallons a minute. So that equals 2 fire engines that pump 1,500. So we're required to have one in the city, so we gotta get one. Now, the deal is that from 2022, when we bought Blue, to today, the price has doubled. The new fire engine that we're looking at getting a tanker pumper that is a 2-door, that's cheaper than what we would get if we bought Blue right now. I'm still waiting on another quote, but, and I'll tell you why I'm giving a quote in just a second. It's $587,000. That's one quote. The next quote will either be more or less. Now, the reason I'm talking to y'all about it now is because we've got tax things to think about when we set our new budget. So that needs to be, I won't say first and foremost, but it's definitely something that we're gonna have to consider, an $80,000 a year payment. Blue's 40, twice as expensive, so that one's gonna be 80. Blue will be paid off in 10 years after we bought it. Blue, we got 5 years. 2032, wow. Well, I'll be retired, I promise. But there is a company, and there's more than one, but Brindley Mountain is one that buys fire engines and resells them. With the red fire engine, County One, still being in date until 2027, when they purchase these fire engines from you, they pay a lot more. So right now, what Alan Go, who runs his sales,
Used stuff is bringing a good price.
huge price.
I know, I represent the county, and they got, it was amazing what they got for used stuff. And it wasn't bad between the used and the new.
The red one is highly desired. The 2-door fire engine base model is what people really want. And right now, Alan from E1 said somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 is where it's going. He said 80 to 120. Now, if we wait until...
Now, you need water delivery mainly, is that right, or is it the newest?
It's the pump. I have to have it within, for a commercial, right, 15 years or less.
Okay, and what, our rating is?
5.
And that, on your insurance, that means, you know, if it were, well, I know it means discounts, but I mean, every reduction you get is, what, about 10%?
Well, if you can find an insurance agent to tell me how much, then we'll be in great shape right now, because we were able to drop right now. But if nobody's going to get a discount, you know, with the inflation, I wasn't going to try to get it dropped and not let somebody see a result in that.
What do you want?
What I want y'all to think about or guide me in this is that, do we want to sell the fire engine to Brindley Mountain, depending on a quote from them? They haven't given me a quote. Somewhere between 80 and 120.
But a new one's 500?
587. That would take that money to go straight to the new one. However, if we wait till 2027 when the red fire engine expires,
It's not worth as much.
well,
No, it's
you
not
remember
worth
when we
it.
sold the old county one to Houma County, or Calhoun County, I think we got 7,500.
Yeah.
That's what happens when it expires. So I want to go with y'all's guidance. It takes about 14 months to get a fire engine delivered. Brindley Mountain is just one company that will say, when you get your new fire truck in 14 months, if everything is still the same with this one, we'll give you X amount of dollars.
But it's gonna be another year off of the pump.
Well, now,
Correct.
okay, now
But
let's,
they'll give me that quote for what it's gonna be worth me.
okay, now let's say that Water Valley gets the county's allocation for the rural fire.
There's no more.
Well,
They've
they might.
used it up. Okay, well, so it's 90,000. 90,000 is where they were at.
Okay, all right, well, when must you have it by?
Well, we need to have, it's 14 months delivery.
$500,000. That,
What's the exception that we don't have to put the used fire truck on gov.deals to reverse auction it out?
well, you can sell it to
Right
another
now.
local government, and work out a treaty.
But who's he talking about?
He's talking about trading it with the fire truck dealer.
Right, with the fire engine dealer,
Ah,
Brindley Mountain, who,
maybe if you put it in a bid.
the problem is if we put it on a bid and somebody meets the reserve, which I guess we could put to whatever that quote was, I don't have a problem
What
with
state are
that.
they in?
Alabama.
Okay.
But they deal with E1 straight.
Well, I'll look into that while
We'll have
everybody
to
else
work
is
with
looking
them.
into
Right, and that's why I don't want surprises. I don't want y'all saying, oh, well, we gotta have a fire engine next week.
Yeah.
We've got,
Well,
Of
when
14.
is the money got to be come up with, is what I would guess.
when do we've ordered fire engines and didn't pay the first payment until a year later.
That's
So we don't have to have, there's no money down.
We take quotes from the banks at that particular time of finance.
And again, I'm not trying to buy one, I'm trying to put this out there that this
It
is
would
coming
have
in
to
the
be
future.
financed
The
regardless, I
near
would
future.
think. You
Ma'am?
agree it would have to be financed
Oh,
regardless.
It
absolutely.
would, and
Because
the
we did this
useful
one for
life,
10 years.
well, the useful life of it's 15 years. isn't it?
Correct. Now, AFG opens
Right,
in
Cap loan.
November.
I don't know if cap loans qualify. They may not qualify. They might. Be a good thing. Cap loans 3%.
Yeah, I thought we used one for,
It's been a while since we used
We
it.
can use it.
I think
We
used
can use it for fire stations. I know that. I got them. Well, we got that put in. But fire trucks, I'm not sure. But we need to look at that. I mean, this is 500,000.
587.
well, yeah, this budget's.
597,000.
What that would be for not this budget year, but for the next one. And-
Right.
And so that give us time to. We got some things we got to get now for something else. But then that would give us time to
Peel the onion.
do that.
I was looking more to let you know, we're gonna have, in 2027, we're gonna end up with a $80,000 a year truck note, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, I mean, but the thing about it is, you've got to have fire protection.
I hope so.
And,
I surely hope so.
so,
But-
but we gotta make it work. And I think things can work, but we gotta find a way. It'd be good to get from some place.
Thank you.
That F-350 looks good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we can search on that a little bit. Now, then that's something that, you got to have fire protection. And we don't want to get our fire insurance rates to drop. I agree with that. All right, Water Valley Housing Authority reappointment. Vivian, what do we have?
They're wanting to reappoint Baron Caulfield for another 5-year term.
I'll make that motion.
All right, all in favor of Barron will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? He is reappointed. He certainly has experience.
Yes, he does.
Next would be the Solero tax exemption, and Solero Is there yeah, Herbie? Yeah, Herbie's gonna be.
Yeah.
And Mr. Syke, he did not participate in this. He'll be back. Is there a motion for the tax exemption? Is there a second? All in favor will say aye. Aye. All opposed, and Solera, our biggest employer. Next, City of Water Valley surplus list. This is time to remove those items.
It's really junk.
They are
it's
junk,
We
but
just
you
gotta get
have
rid
to
of it.
do it according to the audit department. Is there a second? All in favor will say aye. Next, we have permission to execute the sidewalk grant project, state and federal. And now, let me tell you what's going on. The federal government has a program, but the deadline told been on me on this on sidewalks, and different ones have been on me on different things. And I'll tell you what, sidewalks are just critical. And I found we've got a program, a federal program that we can apply for, and we can get 80-20 grant funds, and we can search for some of the 20, but now there's two sources. One would be a federal program, and you've got something for that, and then the next would be the federal program has a deadline of June, so we've got to act on that immediately if we're going to do it. Now, what I thought and suggested we apply for 1.5 million, and we may not get that, but our match would be 20%, and then we can try to find some ways to do that. And sidewalks are just, I mean, we got them going back to nature, and people want them, and it would be a good thing for this town. You got a right now. You do the federal and then do the state. The federal would let you would let us apply for up to 1.5 million,
and require the board to commit to 300,000.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you didn't come up with it, they just wouldn't give it to you. Is there? You made a motion.
I made that motion. Yes.
Motion second. Is a discussion. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
And the next motion, Cole, would be likened to that motion. It would be to apply to the Mississippi Department of Transportation. And I know this one can work because Charleston got it. I think we've got two. And it is, and those are sidewalks right where they were. So, motion, second. All in favor will say aye. Aye. Now, we need to return to executive session if y'all want to do that about there's a request to do that on personnel.
Mayor. Need to get approval on this.
You sure do.
I know it wasn't
Mike has
agenda,
got a, this is absolutely critical about some street improvements, and one of them would be, well, there's three of them. You know, you got two chip and seal,
Right now,
and then one paving.
Right now, we just need to get this approved, or get some rocks. I've got working with the county. We've got a couple of streets that we want, Main Street coming in that's in bad shape, that we can seal them up for this year and start working into an asphalt program every year.
Right. And I think Calhoun you're gonna do.
Calhoun will be one of our
asphalt.
blacktop lists this year.
Blacktop, and well, look, this is just a little taste, but this can get us. This little taste can get us started. We need a real big road program, and I think we can do that.
Supervisor said that they would bring their machine and put like we did 315.
And I'm gonna tell you,
two of my main ones that I want to do is Central Street coming in from the bypass down to where we blacktopped this last time. The second one will be from the hospital to the bridge.
Yeah.
They're just cracking up so bad that you don't have the time to go in there by labor and fill every crack, but we can seal it up.
Yeah.
And then get you another program down the road a little further.
Well, you know, I got 125,000 for Oakland, and the supervisors, you know, when I was in legislature, supervisors redid every road in, every street in Oakland with that, and they came in and do it. There's a statute where supervisors can come in and help us. And I appreciate them, Mike and them working together on that, because, you know, county and city, we're the same people. So is there a motion this be approved? Motion, second. All in favor will say aye. Aye. It's so approved. And that'll do a lot of good, Mike. And it's not a lot of money that you're asking for.
To do them two streets, I'm looking around less than 60,000 probably to do two main entries coming in.
Right, and you've got it in your budget.
It's in there.
Yeah, okay, so that's taken care of. Now,
I make a motion for closed determination on personnel matters.
all right, is there, what time is it, Vivian?
7:52.
All right, is there a second? There's a second of Miss, oh, what about our park? Let's do that before we go into that. You got, Bonnie, you got the park resolution?
It's listed as, closed session.
Executive session?
Well, we started there, we don't have to leave it.
Well, let's do that. And Bonnie's got a motion on, that Daniel has done to establish a park commission. And this, we need, Daniel, we need to do this to, you know, effectuate the.
Yeah, it'll streamline, it puts in, state code allows us to run a park, do everything we're doing to allow the citizens to have a good, wholesome place to have recreation, and that includes buying jerseys, running a concession stand, everything that you would think of as happening in a little league park or the park on Baker Street. I mean, you know, that
Or
gives
City
us
Park.
right. That's Baker Street Park, City Park. So that would give us the authority to do those things and have somebody selling popcorn. You know, I was explaining to somebody today. You know, if the city decided it was a good idea that we should pay our people to paint people's houses and they pay us costs, well, we're not allowed to do that. You know? So we're allowed to do certain things if it's provided in code, and it is under the Park Commission. Now, there are a couple things. There's really two blanks in here. One, park commissioners are entitled to pay, and that pay is of course set by the board. And I don't know what's in the budget in regards to those issues.
Yeah, I don't, do we want to start out paying them? We wanna
So there's two things. There's park commissioners, which are elected by the board, and then there's park advisors, which are not the same thing.
Okay.
And that's covered in the same code reference, but it says, however, the governing authorities of a municipality, it's basically a council, are hereby authorized and empowered in their discretion to create an advisory park and recreation commission advisory. So if you do this park commission as I've got it written down,
Yeah.
they've got authority over your parks. They're the ones that hire your umpires. They're the ones that hire your
Well-
concession stand workers. The advisory board would just come to the board like the everybody else does and say, we would like to hire these people.
I
We would like to
don't
do
know
these
that
things.
we want to be telling, that this board wants to be telling them who to hire for their umpires. It might be better to have your commission so that the commission can do it, because I don't feel necessarily qualified to say who's the best umpire. Now, Freddie over there could be, but I think the park commission, you could put, each alderman would have an appointment nominee on the commission, and they would, hopefully the whole town would be represented. You could do it, can we start out, Daniel, maybe without compensation and then maybe add it later on?
It says May.
Was that, I think it ought to be really a volunteer thing. Do y'all agree or disagree?
It's, no,
That's fine.
Well, I mean,
it may
because
be allowed.
every dime
We
you
don't
take
have
away the children,
We don't have a
you
park
know,
commissioner.
we don't have,
I know, but
You talking about Rachel?
yeah,
She's
She
the
gets
park
paid.
director, and so the commission would then, of course,
you know,
we're
they
gonna,
could keep.
yeah, they're gonna pay her. That's a
Yeah,
whole
they-
different ball of wax.
We wouldn't take anything, if you don't pay them, you wouldn't take anything away from her.
Right, so I'll just put the zero.
All right, zero. Motion, Buddy?
They have to appoint a treasurer, and the treasurer has to have a
Well,
bond.
then we'll approve the bond. And then
What's the bond? No.
50,000, it
Well,
could be,
that-
it
that
could be
wouldn't- that
50,000
wouldn't
because
be-
ours
That
is.
wouldn't be much, so.
Right.
All right, there's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor will say aye. Aye, okay, that's done,
Who was the first? I'm sorry.
and y'all be thinking,
Bonnie.
about who you would like to nominate for this commission, and we
Hey,
can
I got a question on that. On that commission, how many, commissioner that's gonna be over the director?
Mm-hmm.
How many we talking about?
7.
How many at first, cause I read it.
I get 2 appointments.
What I'm
as the
saying,
mayor,
I read it
and y'all
that
each
you
get
was gonna
one.
pay. It was 2 people, so was it 2 to be paid? Or?
It's the only person that's gonna get paid is the park director and any employees, like the umpire, concession stand workers.
That
Rachel.
would be Rachel would be paid.
And so, and technically what y'all are doing is nominating, and the board, the board as a whole votes the people
That's
in.
right.
And I just put in there for, the nomination process, but the statute says that y'all will vote into office qualified electors of the municipality. So they have to live here, be qualified electors here.
In the city limits.
That's correct.
That certainly makes sense.
And they can't hold any other office of honor or profit.
What that gonna be done? How that, if that's gonna be put in the paper? How we gonna do this?
We're gonna
Your next board meeting,
Call this
next board meeting, you're gonna get to nominate
One
one
person.
that, and you probably, one perhaps,
Okay, the
will probably
board.
live in your ward.
Okay.
And then, everybody and will get to nominate people, and then hopefully we could
How
get,
often would they meet? Maybe.
Well, see, that's the beauty, is that they don't have to come to us if they need a new concession stand worker. They can decide how they meet and when they meet and do all that stuff. They do have to come to us and report to us quarterly, and so I put that in there, that they have to report March, June, September, and December. And at the December quarterly report to us, they have to give us their annual accounting.
and they have to make an account.
That's right, and Miss Vivian, of course, will be overseeing it, but of course it gives them more freedom to do things that.
She will do the money.
Yeah, petty cash and run concession
Yeah.
stands. That's a whole different weird ball of wax that otherwise isn't kind of normal in our line of
They'll
work.
still fall under the purchasing
Yes.
laws and stuff that the city does.
That's
right?
exactly right.
All right, so y'all be thinking about good qualified people, for this, that are civic-minded and interested in the children, and others too. Now, we got, I guess we're ready for the executive session. All right, is there a motion for closed determination? This would be personnel matter.
I'll make that motion again.
All right, is there a second? Second made, and what time is it?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. All right.
The Water Valley School District Monthly Board Meeting, sponsored by Bank First of Water Valley.
You may have heard of us, but you might not know Bank First is a community bank that has no-fee ATM access, interest, and perks earning checking accounts, with online and mobile banking, mortgages for every stage of life, and modern business banking for businesses, small and big. We keep it all together to put you first. Do you bank with us? You should.